Well, the big thing right now is mini bikes, and I mean teeny mini bikes, little ones. So we're gonna try one. I don't even think I've ever ridden one, to be honest with you. A friend of mine gave this to me. The guy that had the go-kart gave me this in trade for fixing the go-kart. So, you know, that's a win, maybe. The reason I agreed to it is because of how thick the backbone is on this one and how big the tubes are. I really think this will probably ride somebody my size. In scale, it's not that small, but it's small enough. It's smaller than the CT70 sitting over there. We'll line them up before we're done with it. But years and years ago, you may not know, I used to do go-karts and yard carts kind of thing. And I collected quite a few parts. And when I got into three-wheelers, you know how hobbies change and so forth, I was left with a lot of parts. And sitting over there on the tailgate of my truck is basically, I think, everything we're going to need to revive this old mini bike. I'm not going to mess with that Tecumseh. It's missing, well, first and foremost, the Tecumsehs I've always found to be pretty finicky. They're just, they're pretty bad. I'm just not good with them. Everything seems to be here. Throttle's locked up, so we're gonna have to get a throttle. It's not here. It's this cable. I'm sure that's part of the problem. I think we can eliminate all of this and start over with just a frame. I think we could make something pretty cool out of it, believe it or not. It's got a drum brake. I wish it had a disc. I may look into maybe doing a disc upgrade on this. Mini bikes and go-karts or stuff, companies like Go Power Sports and BMI and things like that, they've really kind of revolutionized and brought these types of vehicles back. There's some really big channels on YouTube actually that has had a big role in that. Cars and Cameras is probably the number one that comes to mind, but it's all here. It's mine. It's we're gonna make the most of it. So over here on the bed of the truck, these are my leftovers. And that's a shame, but it's true. Look at the dust on top of this box. yeah, I should clean up, right? So what we have here is we have the Hemi. If you're new to small engines like this, you can get two different ones at Harbor Freight. They actually three now. They have the 212, they have the 212 Hemi, and then non-Hemi. And here's the difference. When you look for it, this is cast here and not stamped steel. There's another one that's chrome, it's shiny, it has OHV on it, and it's stamped in a thin metal cover. The Hemi has this cover. There actually is a little bit of difference, so much so that the Predator company started making a race version of this engine. Just a few minor changes. They call it the Ghost. It's new. It wasn't out back then, or that's what I'd have, but they make a new high performance when it comes with a header and a different kind of carburetor. I'm not worried about making it necessarily go any faster than what this will do, but yeah, there you go. That's an actual Hemi one there, and it's old. I was looking on the date of when I bought it, how long ago it's been. It's got to be, I don't know, it's been sitting 4 years probably. But item number here, if you want the Hemi, it is different. It's 60363. So that's the item number you'd want. This is I haven't even opened it. That's shameful. This is a torque converter, aftermarket torque converter that will bolt right onto this. And what that does is it gives you variable speed. There's all kinds of stuff in here. We've got, I don't even know what that is. That's a Spider. That's what that is. We've got brake levers, we've got master links, we've got bearings. Pretty much most of this stuff will interchange. We'll find out if it doesn't. We've got tie rods, just odds and ends stuff. We got spindles, that's go-kart stuff. Of course, that's what I was into. I think these are pedals. Nope, this is a band brake, so that's cool. We're probably going to need that. There's a band brake right there with the stop. just like that, we've got 90% of this thing tore down. Probably gonna have to fight with that rear axle. Y'all see that coming. This chain's pretty roped out. Throttle actually seems to be okay. The mechanism here, we'll have to find that it will be a specific mini bike cable. As for the rear brake, it actually is working. Seems to be working pretty good. We'll see. The sprocket looks good. They've got these things geared so low with these big sprockets on here. They get in the dirt and they get in the mud, and that's really what wears the sprockets and the chain out. You know, I think just to keep things simple, we'll just pull the motor out. I was down here looking, taking the motor out. This is particle board underneath this seat. I don't know if this is the original seat or not. It pivoted here. This is a metal bracket, and then this is actually particle board, and it's all swollen up from being outside. That's not good. We're gonna have to come up with something probably better than that. A solid piece of metal all the way back to at least the shock, and then bolt something on top of it. I'm sure we can get a couple of laps out of it, but yeah, got to be careful about that. And I was looking at this bolt that we're missing here. Yes, we need it, but I think we can make some laps with that too. So I'm gonna wipe it down, and I was trying to see what year it was. It had a barcode on it, but it got knocked off. So, oh well. There we go. All right, day 3. I have no idea what day. What day? Nobody knows what day it is. It was a work day. Yeah. So it's in the afternoon. You'll be watching this probably New Year's Eve weekend. So Happy New Year to you. We're out here in the shop. No, it's not finished. I have been busy living life. We got it cleaned up and it's just started filling up again. There was a bird right there. There's a birdhouse in here now, so the birds are taking it better than the snakes. So this time of year, we really don't have to worry too much about snakes. It's cold enough that they really can't move real well, so I can outrun them. So that works out in my favor. During the summer, I can't always say that. Anyways, why are we out in the shop? We are out in the shop because all the heavy fab tools are out here. Grinder, welder, drill, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to weld in the house, in the garage. I know a lot of guys do it. I've just got a better space to do it. That's it. If you weld at your house, in your house, be careful. Them sparks and embers, they'll get away from you sometimes, and you turn around and you got something on fire over here. You didn't plan on it. So please be careful about that. That's your safety tip for the day. So what are we here? We are here because I ordered the wrong header. I knew the factory muffler was not going to clear on these mini bikes. It's just kind of common knowledge. And I bought the cheapest one they offered. Yeah, well, it would have worked on probably any other frame but this one. This frame is really big, and it's and that's that's a good thing and a bad thing. It weighs a little bit more, but it's strong. And so as you see here, we've got a header that is just not going to fit in here. Normally this header would kind of bend around and go underneath the seat and around this bar, and that's just it's not going to happen with this chassis. It'd really need to be about 2 inches longer would be ideal, and it would still come out the back. And so this is where your fabrication comes in. Sometimes you just kind of have to fabricate stuff on the fly. If you're new to mini bikes and things like this, don't let the welding and the grinding, don't let that discourage you. I made a mistake and ordered the wrong header. It's $29. I could ship it back. There's 3 days. Could order another one. There's 3 days. And get the one to fit this machine. Order the right one. Don't make the mistake I did. This was just a way to kind of work around what I had to work with. A piece of water pipe, and it's thick. That's why I was able to bend it and shape it like I did, and the way I was able to weld it too. All in all, it took me 20 minutes, 25 minutes, not that long. Had my shop been set up like it used to be, it wouldn't have took that long. But when you're doing these little projects, do a little better planning than I do. Order your parts that match. You can go to Go Power Sports, which is probably who I'd recommend. Not affiliated with them, though I'd love to be. I'm not. They're really good people. They really are. I've had several conversations back in my go-kart days, now bringing mini bikes back and so forth. They're just really, really good people over there. But Go Power Sports is where I got that. Tell them what you have, call them and say, hey, I'm putting a 212 Predator on this chassis. Do you have a header that'll bolt right on? More than likely, they will have exactly what you need. And then all you have to do is assemble it. You can't even buy complete kits from them where you assemble the entire machine. One item number, one purchase, it shows up at your door. You put it together. Great father and son or daughter little project. When you get done, you'll have a mini bike. I'm showing you what you can do with some scrap and some parts left over from different things here and there. But certainly, if you want to get your hands dirty and you want to build your own mini bike, you can buy a kit and everything's new and you don't have to deal with rust and you don't have to worry about parts fitting and not fitting. If you find an old chassis, then these are some of the things that are going to come up with: chain sizes, chain lengths, master links, headers, the wiring. It's a lot of this. I got two different things. I'll just kind of go over it real quick. The handlebar controls, grips, and power on and off kill switch. And the kill switch all came from Go Power Sports along with the header. The controls was like $25–30, which I thought was a bargain. Came with the cables. The motor plate that's under this, I really didn't highlight it, but it really does make this job a whole lot easier. It actually raised the engine 1 3/4 inches and it pushed the engine forward 1 3/4 inches, I believe, or maybe 2 inches. Right now the motor is in the all the way back position, and that's another reason why I built the header like I did. As I slide that engine forward, that header is going to need room to slide. And so that's why there's like 2 inches behind here. I can actually take that header and that engine and move it forward and not be an issue. So kind of planning ahead on that kind of stuff. Why would you move your engine? That's how you adjust your chain tension. If you're not familiar with a mini bike, the rear axle's fixed. You can't move it. It's not like a dirt bike or a motorcycle. The engine actually moves forward. So everything that hooks to the engine has to be able to move. Again, that motor riser plate is slotted to give you that adjustment back. Even though you're raising the engine up and moving it forward, you can still slide it forward and aft to tighten your chain. If it's got nutserts in it, your bolts just go right into it, easy peasy. You don't have to worry about reaching in there with a wrench or anything like that. They've really come a long way. And that motor plate came from a company called BMI. I'm not affiliated with any of them. But that's where I got it from, and that was another $30. So you can see, planning ahead, you can make this a pretty much bolt together project without having to worry about welding and grinding and things of that nature. But if you're gonna rough it, if you're gonna work with scrap, then you got to be able to work with scrap. All right, first startup, third time around. You're gonna hear some rubbing, and rubbing's racing. No, not that kind of rubbing. You're gonna hear some rubbing. The chain is self-clearance in the plastic cover. Let's fire it up, take it for a little spin. Fun though, wow, nice little project. But that's it, guys. I'm telling you, if you want to get into small engines, no better place to start than a mini bike or a go-kart. They're simple. You can buy the motor already perfect. You don't have to go customizing or anything. You bolt it on and you're done with a regular old centrifugal clutch, and that would be just fine. 50 miles an hour on your knees is fast. A lot of fun. You put a kit on that and a gallon of gas, and you won't see them until dinner time. All right. Well, as always, y'all have a happy new year. I'm going to do a live event this weekend and kind of wrap up the end of the year. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And I will see you shortly. Bye.